We use symbols to show where a section has been cut, and they look like this. These are the symbols from the National CAD Standard. They tell the reader what direction the section was cut and what direction they are looking, and they tell the reader where they're going to find this section view. Notice how it's made of a circle with a triangle tangent to the circle to make an arrowhead, and notice how no matter what direction the arrow is pointing, that line through the middle of the circle is horizontal and the text is horizontal. So that's a little different from dimensions. And we always do it the same way. The text in the top half of the circle is the name of the detail or the name of the section. So this might be section 1 or section B2 or whatever you've named it. Then in the bottom of the bubble, that's the page number where you will find that section. And then on the floor plan, you place those arrows, those reference symbols, to show the reader where you have cut the section through the building and what direction you are looking. If you have just a simple floor plan, you might only need one section, maybe two. If you have a complex building, you might need a whole bunch of them, and that's fine too. You just number them and tell the reader where to find those sections. Then the cutting plane line is thick. It's a phantom line type. On the floor plan, then, you have the arrow that tells the reader, here's the name of the section, like section B, and here's what page you will find it on. Now the reader, let's say the builder, turns to that page, and here they will find that section. So here is that section on page A2 in this example, and you always give what scale that section was drawn at. If this were going from B to B, as this example is, then this is section BB. So that's the name of this one. B on each end of the arrow, BB is the name of the section. Then in the section drawing, you use hatching to represent different kinds of materials, concrete, insulation, soil, and so forth. The bat insulation is kind of an odd one, and in another video we're going to look at the CAD drawing and see how you draw this thing. Here's some more symbols out of our book. Here you can see gravel and earth. Sometimes you have a big old long building with nothing really happening in the middle that you want to show. You just have something at each end that you would like to section. So what you can do then is put a break line in there and just show a larger detail at each end, and then the break line tells the reader there's some stuff missing out of here. You'll give whatever vertical dimensions you need, like bottom of plate to top of plate. Bottom of plate, there's the bottom plate, to the top of plate, there's the top plate, just as a reminder. So here's an example of a section with various vertical dimensions given, so you can see how much this tells the reader. Here's another one. This is out of our book. So it's real easy to see just how this framework goes together and just what the heights are supposed to be. Alternatively, you can also give an elevation. You'll see that especially in commercial buildings. So it's common to see this target-shaped symbol and then an elevation number. It might have these letters TOC for top of concrete, or it might have these letters TOS to top of steel. This is what the National CAD Standard says we should include, and they recommend also including the room names and room numbers, the elevations and the materials and other stuff. This is maybe more true in commercial buildings than in residential buildings. And then you cover the section drawing with all kinds of notes, telling them everything you couldn't represent with lines and circles, words that talk about what this stuff is and where it should go and so forth. And we're going to look at some of these in our print reading exercise in our worksheet.